It is Wednesday, the 28th day of May, 2025. I had 27 on my sheet. What the fuck are you doing, dummy? God. And if you listened to last week's show, which came out yesterday, though I'll complain about that later, you would have heard me say that I was coming up on the 5-year anniversary of this shit. That's right, 5 years. 5 years, five listeners. Quite the accomplishment, right? Well, of course, as is apropos, I blew right past the actual date, which was May 7th, 2020. Yeah. Hell of a time, May of 2020, right? A completely different world for a multitude of reasons, both, personally and around the world and, you know, all that fun bullshit. But, hey, 5 years, right? Rather important anniversary, I would say. And look, nothing important, really. I mean, it's just a dumb hobby that I've had, and there's a very large gap in there where I didn't record anything, foolishly. But here we are. I am getting over a cold, so I'm gonna sound like caca today, more so than usual, which is saying something. But it's head cold, and it's like now I'm trying to get rid of some phlegm. It's been a real mess, to be honest. Sorry, taking some Dayquil. We're getting fired up on the Dayquil. All right. It sounds like Wolfman Jack. Hey, Wolfman Jack. Ah. I can only do it when I'm ill. So today I'm going to talk about a few things, but I'm also going to kind of flip through. I'm not really going to flip through episodes. I'm not going to play any clips. I'm not going to do anything that, like, a retrospective show should do. Mainly because, one, I don't have the time, and two, I don't have the will. But I'll talk about some things that I enjoyed over the course of the last 5 years, and some things that I found humorous. Uh, and then it's funny because I wrote here, maybe I'll listen to episode 1, and I didn't. I didn't stop working yesterday till damn near 8 o'clock, probably after that, because work. But I'll also talk about that kind of, because I am going to talk about capitalism very briefly, though, and it does tie into the show. I want to talk about the Red Sox, snack foods, bad music, and who knows what else on the 5-year-ish anniversary show, episode number 188 of Complaints and Observations.
Still, a voyage into the mundane and an exercise in futility. Swimming in the absurd while drowning in unearned self-importance. Entirely unworthy of your time. It is the world's worst podcast. This is Complaints and Observations with Dave LaPointe. Who the hell is Dave LaPointe?
I think he's a bum. I think he's an absolute bum.
All right, what's up? What's going on? How are you? Good, I hope. Yeah. I mean, good for a multitude of reasons. and I hope also for a multitude of reasons. However, that was annoying. Probably that smack, right? A couple things that I want to start with, right? And I didn't mention it in the open, but big day in soccer the other day where Liverpool was having their championship parade, and then someone decided to drive his car like through a roadblock behind an ambulance, and then from there decided to drive his car into a couple groups of people. Now, the good news is no one died. And from all reports that I've read this morning, there's only 4 people that are still in the hospital and they're in stable condition, so that's a positive. I am very, very curious to see how this plays out because this strikes me, and I could be dead wrong, as someone who was probably, messed up on something, didn't really know what was going on, or wasn't paying attention, or quite frankly didn't care, which is probably more accurate, and then just panicked. They've already come out and said this wasn't terrorism, which I'm very glad that they addressed that quickly. But if you watch the videos are fucking scary shit. And so, as I am wont to do, I do need to make light because, it's a coping mechanism for 98% of the planet. But this accident took place on what is fairly hallowed ground for myself and some friends of mine, including friend of the show Mark, whose voice you hear at the end of every single episode. This took place on Water Street in Liverpool, which is the home to Hooters. That's right, Hooters Liverpool. Which when I was in Liverpool with Mark and friends a couple years back, we were at I'm fairly certain we went to that Hooters thrice. I think it was at least twice, but I think it was 3 times. So, a little local tie-in from a fairly sad story, and I feel awful saying that. But at the same time, it was kind of humorous. Like when, all the video I saw, and there was the big Hooters sign on Water Street in Liverpool, like, oh. And then we remembered one waitress name, but we couldn't remember both waitresses that we were fond of. And Rob, let's see, I knew he came through with it. Layla, that's right. The Hungarian lass, Layla, and her friend Pippa. Pippa. Shout out to Layla and Pippa. Hopefully you guys are okay. Fingers crossed, right? What a fucking awful way to start the show. Oh man. Anyways, an equally oh god, that's so bad, David. Jesus. An equally awful way to start the show, the Boston Red Sox. Listen, this is not going to be much of a deep dive on things because quite frankly, it's just like they are what they are. Okay? And the part that pisses me off more than anything is that I got hoodwinked. I was fooled. I was suckered. You're going to get a lot of sniffles today, so just hang in there. I got suckered. I got fooled into thinking that this team was more than what it is, which is complete and total mediocre, right? There's one veteran on this team, and it's Devers, right? Which doesn't really give you the warm and I mean, look, Bregman's hurt, so he's not on the team technically. He's around. But like in the lineup right now, you have Trevor Story who stinks, and he's another one. He fucking fooled me. Fooled me. I've been fooled and hoodwinked by this team multiple times this year, and I can't take it anymore. I knew the bullpen was going to be trouble, and it's proven so. And you've got guys like, look, Liam Hendricks, I'm sorry. Like, you're just not, it's not working. Okay? And there was a story last week that apparently Liam Hendricks is getting fucking death threats. What? And you know why he's getting death threats? And you can fucking you can poo-poo me all you want when I'm done saying this, but deep down in your cold black heart, you know this is true. And it's because of legalized gambling. People like Liam Hendricks are getting death threats. Now look, he may have gotten a stray death threat here and there if there was no legalized gambling, but what a train wreck that whole fucking thing is. And it's making, it's ruined sports. And I'll say that. I'll come out and say it's ruined it. Illegal gambling was so much better. One, it was fun. It's just like smoking weed, right? Smoking weed is fine. But now that it's fucking everywhere, it's kind of lost its appeal. It's lost its lure. You know? You had to work for it. Same with gambling. You had to work for it. You had to put effort into it. And because you had to make an effort, it was worth it. Now, anybody and everybody can fucking gamble legally. And it gives these fucking sociopaths hiding behind social media accounts, the right to threaten death on a relief pitcher because they lost a game. It's like, what are we now? What have we become? I mean, look, it's a very long, long, long story that we could get into about what we've become as an American society. But fucking hell, we're sending death threats to a relief pitcher because you're a shitty gambler. Grow the fuck up. But they've sold their fucking soul to DraftKings, FanDuel, MGM. All of them have. Each and every sports league in this country. And you know what's funny? When it started, like when this was starting to become legalized, right? And you had all the righteous nonsense from the leagues, like, oh well, we'll never kowtow, we'll never bow down. Like, you did, and you spread your asshole for them too. You literally bend over, use your hands, spread your ass cheeks, so that they can slide right in and fuck you up the ass. Sports gambling. Why? Because they're gonna pay you a few bucks, right? Yeah. Because that's all it is. Everything's about making money. And it's so weird because it was a couple weeks ago where I said business over ball, always and forever, and it just keeps coming up. It just keeps coming up. And it's one of the more accurate and profound things that has ever come out of my big, dumb, fat mouth. It's business over ball, and that's all that fucking matters. Like, I just, I wish I had other outlets. I really should start reading more. I should pick, I should start reading fiction because, I mean, what the fuck? I mean, what else is there? Like, your distractions are there to be distractions and to be entertainment, but no, not anymore. Now it's about these fuckers making a buck and doing everything they can to squeeze more out of us. To fucking squeeze at the teat or squeeze your balls and squeeze that last drop of jizz. Dimes. What? It's terrible. It just makes for a less than enjoyable experience all around when the only thing is making money. But the only thing is making money, which is why the Boston Red Sox right now are fucking horrible. You do not have a first baseman, okay? And anybody who wants to sit here and say, oh, it's Rafi Devers, he should have moved to first. No, he shouldn't have. Fuck you. It's not on him to do that. It's not on him. And he's been one of the best hitters in the game after his horrible start. But he's probably going to be, or he could be. Here's the thing, right? Aaron Judge is going to win the MVP in a landslide. So they're not going to vote him as, batting player of the month or whatever the fucking awards are for hitting. So, Devers leads the league in, RBI and home runs, batting average, OBP, whatever. He's in the top 3 or 4 in the month of May. Although this series against Milwaukee, he's kind of, shit the bed like everyone else. But it's funny, they scored. What was the stat I heard the other day? It's like they're whatever they are in runs scored in the league, yet half of the runs that they've scored have come in 10 games. They've now played 57 games. So in 10 games, they've scored half of their runs. Think about that. That's insane to me. That just shows you how totally and completely inept this lineup is and how inept management is because they don't have a first baseman. They have a fucking kid in Worcester who is literally tearing the cover off the baseball. And they haven't called him up. Why? Because they don't want to fucking start his service time clock, right? So they don't want to have to pay him sooner than they would have to pay him. So they're going to put that off. It wouldn't shock me if they've been trying to sign this kid to an extension for the last 2 months and he hasn't done it. It wouldn't surprise me if that comes out at some point because they know he's going to be good. So they did it with Campbell. They did it with Bayo. They did it with. Did they do it with Abreu? I can't. Or they did it with Rafaela. A smooth move there. But like the whole lineup is so young. They're babies. And right now your veteran is Devers, who apparently everyone in the clubhouse hates because he didn't move to first base. But shut up. Give a fucking first baseman's mitt to fucking Roman Anthony and say, hey, go take ground balls, dipshit. Because you're only going down there to fill a spot and to hit. That's it. Oh, but you should move this guy. Move that. No, man. Just fucking give the kid a glove and tell him to fucking learn the position. You want to know why? Because he's not an established vet. He's not. Devers is an established player. He's earned the right to say no. As stupid and as silly as that sounds. But boy, what a fucking train wreck of a mess. 1 run yesterday against the Brewers. Aroldis Chapman giving up the tying run in the 9th to go to extras, and then Hendricks just imploding. I feel bad for that dude because he tried. He tried to come back, and it's not working. It's not. So you got to move on. Dick Fitz started the game yesterday. Pretty good. 3 innings, which is what you want. It's supposedly a rehab start, which is just kind of fit because, they can't manage their pitching staff. So it worked out okay. But honestly, get bent. Like I'm done. I think I'm done with them. I don't care anymore because I said Memorial Day, you are what you are on Memorial Day. And unless a minor miracle happens, nothing. They're going to start selling pieces. I don't know who they could fucking sell. What do they have that's valuable to other teams that are actually competitive? Bench guys, Ref Schneider, guys like that. Yeah, okay. Poor Connor Wong can't fucking hit, and he's up there with the bases loaded the other day. At the end of the game, what's he gonna do? Again, he's in a shit spot. Makes me wonder if Cora can manage anymore or if he even cares. I don't even really have a problem with the guy, but right, I got to stop talking about it. It's going to give me agita if it hasn't already. All right, I do want to. There's a couple things that I want to mention about uh just music, right? And it's funny that this was something that was on my list before I started, and it was I got a message yesterday on the Instagram from a friend of the show, Jacques, where he just kind of posted that as he's wont to do. He's a kind man, quite frankly, and he's taken a liking to the program, and I can't really figure out why. I think that says more about him than it does the program. But I very much appreciate it. So, and in that, in his post was a song from a band called Bantam Woods. And I checked it out. I'm like, oh, wow, all right, it's pretty good. But then, he proceeds to tell me the story. It's a friend of his that he used to play with in a band back in the day. Once again, Jacques is basically the most interesting man in the world, just in, in a different type of, I don't know. Well, what would you call it, David? Who knows? He's a very interesting guy. So, anyways, it's more of like I don't know. It's an alt rock, punk rock kind of sound. Bantam Woods, Bantom Woods. If you Google Bantam Woods, you get a town in Texas. So don't just Google Bantam Woods. You probably don't spell it with an A. Spell it with an Bantom, Bantam. I'm sure there's a meaning behind it, but fuck if I know. And the song is Lotteries and Lightning Strikes. It's good. You should check it out. I enjoyed it. You should too. On a similar note, I was alerted by my pal Matt, who sent a text that one of the DeLeo brothers has a new band called One More Satellite. The DeLeos are famous for being um, the brother duo. I think this is Dean, the guitarist. The other one is Ralph DeLeo. No, it's not. It's eluding me as to what the other one's first name is. Anyways, Dean DeLeo has a new band called One More Satellite, and they just put out a song that's really fucking good. And you should check that out. But then there's a lot of other shit. One of my favorite bands right now is, and has been for a while, they are called Young Gun Silver Fox. They are terrific. I enjoy them thoroughly. They have a new album out called Pleasure, which is fantastic. It's fucking fantastic. And if you like sort of like a yacht rocky pop rock, I don't even know like what to call it. It's just good. It's just good, feel good music, man. And you should check it out. I am also still listening often to the new Machine Head record, which is just fucking really fucking good, unatoned. It's Rob Flynn can write fucking music, right? And it really makes me wonder why he doesn't take full advantage of his songwriting capabilities. And because as much as I thoroughly enjoy them, and as much as I know I'm not alone in that feeling, the band is such that it's very Megadeth-ish in that it's Rob's band, just like Megadeth has always been Dave's band, and it's not a it's a corporation, which is what I'm fairly certain Mustaine has mentioned that Megadeth is more than just a band; it's a corporation, but he's the CEO, and so Machine Head is very much similar in that regard, at least in my humble, uneducated opinion. I just think that he can write songs. He's a good songwriter. And it would behoove bands that aren't in the same vein to go to him and say, "Hey, write us a song." But then again, it makes me wonder if he's tried it and it hasn't worked. I don't know. But the man can write a song. Lyrically, he's terrific. And we're on the same sort of wavelength socially. So I think it fits and it flows. But it's a good record, and if you like thrash, it's. I mean, I don't really know what else is out there in terms of good new thrash, but yeah, it's excellent, and you should check it out. I enjoyed it thoroughly. One thing though that I haven't enjoyed is you ever sort of sit around and you hear a song that you've heard a billion times, right? And then you start listening closely to the lyrics and you're like, "Oh my god, this is fucking horrible." Two really good examples in classic rock, right? One is Tough Enough by the fabulous Thunderbirds. Like lyrically, it is just so bad. It's terrible. And it's him. It's and again, forgive me because I'm literally googling uh, another corporate entity, the Fabulous Thunderbirds, where Kim Wilson, the singer, is the only guy who's been in the band. And the list of past members is very long. But I mean, they were sort of famous mainly because Jimmy Vaughn, Stevie's older brother, was the guitarist. But boy, that is a laundry list of past members. Woof. Wow. Oh, the original bassist was from Providence. It's just weird. Like, you look at Kim Wilson, and one, it's a dude named Kim, which is always funny. But like the lineups is a very long lineup page on the I can't talk. What am I doing today? Jesus Christ. Anyways, Tough Enough. Yeah. Take a look at that fucking. It's just Kim Wilson singing about. I'm guessing talking to a woman, and then trying to project himself as the big tough guy. And if you go to his Instagram page, you can kind of get that vibe. But it's just like him talking about all the fucking tough things he's gonna do to for her. I'd lay in a pile of burning money that I've earned, and not even worry about getting burned. I'd climb the Empire State, fight Muhammad Ali, just to have you, baby, close to me. I'm sorry. This was the number 10 single at one point in 1986. And it was, let's see, number 10 on the Hot 100, number 4 on the mainstream rock charts, and a whopping number 83 in Australia back in 1986. And the video features the band performing on a sound stage, accompanied by dancing female construction workers. Because, tough enough. And he's probably made a shit ton of money with a horrible, horrible lyrics. Horrible lyrics. But every now and again, these things come up. And it's like, okay, you listen to it. And you're like, hey, that's catchy, cool. And then you start to really focus in on it. And you're like, what in the fucking hell? What in the hell? However, one of the best examples of just songs that are really fucking terrible. Working for the Weekend by Loverboy. This is at the top of my list and has been for years, right? I can't get over how how bad that song honestly and truly is. Like, and this was a another top 20 hit, you know, 19 in Australia, 19 in New Zealand. Oh, I'm sorry. This was a peak number 29 on the Hot 100 tracks countdown in what am I talking about? God damn. In 1981. However, it's been covered numerous times. It's been featured in numerous movies, TV shows. It was in fucking GTA Vice City. Ugh. And again, you look at what the fucking lyrics are, and it's like, what's the one that really fuck? Oh, you want a piece of my heart? You better start from the start. That's the one that gets me. And then he repeats that line 3 times. 3 times. No, I'm sorry. 4. 4 times he says, "You want a piece of my heart? You better start from the start." Like, the guys in the band must have looked at each other and been like, "What the fuck are we doing? All right, let's go. Let's go record. Let's lay this down." Oh, it is so fucking horrible. But that's just rock, okay? When we were in Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago, we are sitting at this brewery and they were just playing like a bunch of fucking garbage, like early 2000s country. And unfortunately, because of a past relationship, I have like some passing knowledge about um early 2000s country music. Now, this particular song was a little bit later. This was from 2009. I'm sorry, 2010. And this is um a song by Luke Bryan, who, look, admittedly I don't know a ton about. I know he's a big star, but he falls into that sort of category of country artists that um really makes me wonder, you know, why. The name of the song is Rain is a Good Thing. Okay. And it's, rain makes corn, corn makes whiskey, whiskey makes my baby feel a little frisky. Back roads are bogging up. My buddies pile up in my truck. We hunt our honeys down. We take 'em into town. Start washing all our worries down the drain. Rain is a good thing. That's just the chorus, man. That was number 1 on the Hot Country Songs chart, July 24th, 2010. And I would happily enter this as the downfall of society. That's the date that it started, July 24th, 2010, when everything went to shit because of Luke Bryan's Rain is a Good Thing. I don't know. He sits down to write this thing and he wrote it, which quite frankly in the grand scheme of modern country music just doesn't happen. But he wrote it with some guy named Dallas Davidson. You should see the picture on fucking Wikipedia of this dude. Dallas Davidson, prodigious songwriter. written songs for a number of those mediocre fucking country stars, like Chris Cagle, Billy Currington, Colt Ford, Rantley Gilbert. Like, these fucking names are so awful. What are we doing? Oh my god, this list of like fucking shit that he's written. Oh, brutal. He did write a song for Gretchen Wilson. You remember Gretchen Wilson, right? The song was titled Blue Collar Done Turn Red. I don't know what that's about. No, honestly, I could go all day about fucking bad music. And it's my opinion, alright? You don't like it, fuck off. But if you like this shit, fuck off. Oh, boy. Oh, Dallas Davidson is the asshole responsible for Honky Tonk Badonkadonk. Boy, I'm sure he's a wonderful man with a really poor choice of career. I don't know, like, what am I saying? Like, it's funny, right? This entire thing that I do is all jealousy more than anything else. You know, I am insanely jealous of Luke Bryan. Well, you know what? Let me scratch that. I shouldn't say that because I don't think that's the case. I think I'm jealous of uh the fact that they have found a niche that they're good at. They've exploited said niche and have made a good life for themselves. I'm jealous of that part. I'm 47, still trying to find that niche. But what can you do, right? So you take down people that, but it's not even a takedown, right? It's not. I'm not. If I ever met these people, I'd shake their hand and say, "Hey, nice to meet you." In the next breath, I'd probably say, "Hey, that rain is a good thing. That song fucking stinks," and then that would be the end of it. But man, God, it's just so bad. Anyways, I'm getting off topic here. There are some other things that I want to talk about. Not really, but I'll get to the important part in a second. So, hey, I have no voicemails today. I got no WNBA update from Mike. I got no wrestling update from Scott. Like, I'm lacking. I don't know what's going on in the world without these voicemails. 617-804-1557. Call in, complain, share. Yeah. Wait, so remember the beginning of the show when I was like, oh, maybe I'll go back and listen to episode 1. Ha 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 ha. Well, I did. And there's I did like a test show just to make sure that everything worked. And the first 15 seconds of the show, literally, the first 15 seconds of the existence of this crap was this right here. All right, how we doing? Welcome to the test pilot for complaints and observations with your horse. You were off to a good start already. With your horse, Dave Lapointe. Like, how incredibly um apropos, how incredibly there's another word I'm searching for, but my brain is tiny. It was foreshadowing for in the next 5 years. Was right there. An idiot who can't talk. Your horse. So good. I mean, honestly, I listened to it and I laughed my balls off. Mainly because it's just me. I'm the only one who finds it funny, but it's still it's pretty funny. Um, but then I'm looking through the list and like going down and like looking at stuff that I did and some of the more entertaining bits. Like there was an early episode where there was a bit about a guy who was standing in line during COVID, like at the DMV, and the poor bastard like pissed himself in line. And so there's an image of that, and I thought it was fucking incredible. It was just very funny. But I mean, honestly, I think the big thing for me, especially the first iteration of the program, was the number of like just uh super interesting people that I got to talk to. And I think that I was lucky enough um to have people who tolerated being on the program, actually wanted to talk, which was nice. Friends, um, new friends, people that I've come to thoroughly enjoy since, or that I've been lucky enough to talk to. Big shout out to AP Dave for sure, right? Because AP Dave was kind enough to, again, another one of these people who, for some weird fucking reason, liked the program and was kind enough to like share people in his sphere to talk. Like one of the more interesting interviews that I ever had was with, um, I think it was Dave's uncle, Rich Leaf, who was the voice of Iona basketball, which was like, what? How does how does this happen? And what a fascinating dude. What a nice guy, fascinating guy. Talked about like a bunch of stuff, like talked about basketball, talked about a little bit about Rick Pitino, not a ton, but also talked about, which was unexpected, and how he was a soccer official, a referee. And so we got into that. It was just cool, man. It was like a super interesting, half hour, 40 minutes. I got to talk to some of my friends, my friend Nick, talking about some crazy shit that he did when he was in college, which was fun. My friend Ian, talking footy with Ian. I got to talk golf with AP Dave and um, pals Tim, Joe. Tim, Joe, and Dave. Yeah, all four of us ripping it up about live golf. Funny how that was a bit apropos. It's still going, but if they've kind of merged, if you will. Um, yeah, my friend Sarah, who started a fucking Instagram page, is taking pictures of doors in Salem. Fucking, it was fascinating. But yeah, a lot of people, a lot of people. As I'm sitting here, just kind of like flipping through stuff. Oh, Dino at Vitamin C, that was a good one. Even though the audio sucked, but Dino at Vitamin C, shout out Vitamin C. Really cool guy, fascinating backstory. Jimmy G at South Shore Bar Pizza, that was a good one. I forgot about that one. I forgot that I talked. Oh, Donnie, I talked to fucking Donnie. Um, Old pal Donnie of um, the Quiet Violent. His brother. God, my fucking brain doesn't want to work. Hold on. Shout out Donnie. Again, just a fucking like genuinely good dude. Bobby. Fucking hell. How do I not remember Bobby? You fucking idiot. Bobby has new music out, and I just got done with a music segment, and yeah, cool guy, Bobby, Donnie, the quiet violent, allowing me to continue to use their music on this fucking stupid show. The pseudo house band, good stuff, man. Yeah, Robert Dominic, or is it Robert Dominic? Is that the handle? What is it? Hold on. Yeah, Robert Dominic. No K. Dominic. Robert Dominic. One word at on Instagram. He's got new music. You should check it out. Bobby. Bob and Don. um, who else did I talk to? Let's scroll through here. Oh, funny, I have an episode about Pope Frank. Wow. How apropos. Um, yeah, interview. Then there was the dude who had Beardle, like Dave's buddy. He's a website to guess who the person was based on their beard. What a fucking stupid concept, but again, hilarious. He was good. Um, who else? Who else? Who else? Yep, that's Beardle. It's funny, like I'm looking at like some of the descriptions of the show. I mentioned Joe Rogan a couple times, and the most listened to episode of the program, according to Spotify, is one where the title was Tom Brady, Joe Rogan, and Three Gripes. That was the name of the episode. And it was like, close to 200 streams on on Spotify. And it's like, what? People just automatically at that point was just clicking anything that said Joe Rogan. Oh God, good stuff. Who else did I talk to? Who else needs a shout out? Oh, the fucking author, Robert Dean. That fucking dude. What a fascinating guy. Like I've been following him on the gram. He's apparently he's been sober for a while. Good on him. I would really, really like some more stuff from him. Every now and again he'll post like different articles that he's written, and basically that's what his book was a bunch of his work just cobbled together. But I mean, it was fucking fantastic. Musician Gene Dante, musician actor Gene Dante, and Gene Dante. I know that you don't listen to the program, but fucking hell, I need a new album from you and the Future Starlets because that last one was fucking fantastic. But again, Gene is very busy being an actor, a serious actor, and I think, according to his IMDb, he was in a couple of episodes as cops over the course of the last year. He was on the show FBI in something called Gunner, which I'm not familiar with, Gene. I'm terribly sorry. Currently in post production for something called Sleepwalker. Good on you, pal. Um, Fucking interesting dude. I wish that guy nothing but the best, just because he, again, took 5 minutes or 30 minutes to just kind of chit chat and talk about his music. Just like the Washburn brothers as well, because they're just fucking good humans. But I've been blessed in a couple of ways, right? Where I've been able to um, spend some time with some very, very interesting people. I've been able to, just talk about random. What was the name of that musician that I fucking talked to? What was that dude's name? Oh, that's gonna bug the shit out of me. What the fuck was that guy's name? Hold on. Stu Wentworth. It's not really Stu. Stuart Todd Whitworth. Stuart Todd Whitworth. Super, like, honestly, probably the nicest guy that I've ever talked to. Just a genuinely decent person, hardworking guy. Like, I just immediately said yes to be on the show. I bought his record. It was excellent, enjoyable stuff. Stu Whitworth. Fucking great. That's so funny. Yeah, man. Again, I've been super lucky. And I did that episode about gratitude one time, which, I thought was kind of, I thought it would be like a little um cheesy, but I mean, at the time I was really sort of, into my feelings a bit and talking a lot about just how grateful I was for even the small things, right? And this being a small thing, because ultimately that's what this is. And so honestly, in the end, I hope that I get to keep doing this for a while. And look, I, as I keep saying, it sounds kind of dumb, but I mean, I do this because I enjoy talking into a microphone, and I do this because it's fun, and it's fun for me. And it would be more fun if more people were into it, but look, it is what it is. I don't really, I don't want to say I don't care, because that's not it. But at the same time, I mean, I'm still getting like far too much joy out of this shit. Yeah. But I mean, I've done like actual episodes, official episodes. This is 188. Apparently 2 episodes ago I hit 200 total. Because I did a bit for a while, like, not an episode, where I was just doing like post game shit for the Patriots and soccer talk, and it was actually a lot of soccer talk during the not an episodes, which was kind of funny. They were just like one off, like 10-minute, but then they ended up becoming very long. Oh boy, good stuff, man. And again, I don't foresee myself putting a cap on this like I did before, just because I think for my mental health, it's better to have a bit of an outlet, as fucking stupid as it really is. Although today I sound like crap. So there's that. But yeah, so you just heard maybe 400 ums. Here's one more. All right. Here's another it's time for the end of the show. It's time for 3 gripes. Now, this is going to be 2 of these 3 gripes are, you know, I guess kind of like serious. I don't know how to put it. So if you're not looking for more serious in introspective in introspective, feel free to just end the show. But gripe number 1 is capitalism. Ooh, this is the sort of topic, I should say, that an entire podcast could be built around, but I'm not smart enough to talk about it. What I do know is that greed plays a large part in capitalism. Quite frankly, I think that greed is the single largest evil that man has ever faced. and that capitalism as a whole is just a side dish for its main course. And the only reason this came up, aside from all the goings on currently in our fine country, is that the reason that I was late in posting the show last week, that I didn't get it up until yesterday, was because the hosting service that I use for this crap, decided to just not work. Okay, I kept getting this error, and like I wasn't able to access anything. I not even get into my past recordings. I couldn't access it at all. And the error was basically like, we're having a problem. Please refresh. That's what it said. Something along those lines. There's probably a little bit more in there, but not, too much. And so I I messaged support, like, hey, like, what's going on? It took 5 days for them to finally get back to me and say, oh, you've reached your recording limit of 2 hours. I'm like, what? This episode is only, a little more than an hour long. No, apparently, they decided to start enforcing what I guess was already in place, which is that you can only get 2 hours included in your free service, 2 hours per month, which makes no sense because I've recorded episodes that are 2 hours long. So essentially, they wasted my fucking time. The people that they're paying next to nothing in some foreign country to be their customer service department took forever to just say, hey, you have to pay for this now. So, in order for me to do this, I need to pay a yearly fee. Here's my big problem with that, right? I do not make any money on this. I have not yet grossed $1 with this shit. I never have. I likely never will. But, every single thing in society, in this world now, is about a fucking buck. Every single fucking thing. Everything. And you're going to have people who hear something like that, like, well, yeah, that's how it is. Everybody needs to make a buck. Yeah, look, I get it. That's fine. But anything and everything in life should not be about money. Money makes life easier. Money is not life. And if it is for you, I'm sorry. You are a hollow individual. That's a fact. Don't argue with me. That's just true. The companies like this one, and I'm not going to name them because they'll probably flag it with their stupid fucking AR system. AR? AI system. Which has already bit me in the ass once on YouTube for some weird fucking reason, as if I was giving medical advice by saying don't inject bleach into your veins. It's tiresome. And it's especially tiresome for people who don't have money. And look, I am not destitute. However, I'm not wealthy by any stretch of the imagination. And I cannot imagine being poor in this country these days. I cannot fathom that. I hope I never have to experience it, and I feel bad for those who do. If you don't, that's another problem, but again, you're a horribly hollow individual. I'll stand by that. Empathy is one of the single best traits that you can have as a human being. And if you fail to exhibit said trait, you are going to live a less than fulfilling life. What do I know? But, leeches, the whole fucking lot of them. All right, gripe number 2. People who talk on a plane. Well, I understand, like, making small talk with your row neighbor, row friend. I get that. But these people who build like a budding friendship on a plane, or if they're on a plane with friends and they're just fucking talking the entire time. What? Why? No one wants to be in this aluminum tube 30,000 feet above the ground. That conversation that you're having so loudly because you have to. You have to be loud when you're talking to someone on a plane. It is not important enough for me or anyone else on that plane to be to have that conversation foisted upon us. Because you're fucking chit-chatting about your high school baseball team from 40 fucking years ago. Shut up. Sit down, stare at the back of the seat like the fucking, what I'm sure you read on social media was the cool thing to do, even though you're not doing it now. Shut the fuck up. We're just trying to get through this, and you're just going to sit there and make it worse for everybody. I just want to read, but I can't because Charlie and his buddy are too fucking loud. No one cares. Shut up. Gripe number 3, common sense. Look, I had like a whole fucking thing written out, and it's still a whole fucking thing, but it was a lot more detailed with a lot more examples of just, basically just going to be a rant against all the shit that's going on in the country and in the world right now. But after writing it out, I was like, what's the point, right? And I just deleted it. We all know that there's nothing everyday people can do about anything on a global scale or even a local scale at this point. And it's, we all hear these like feel good stories that anybody who watches the news, like local news, dedicates 30 seconds of every broadcast to news that's not going to make you feel like shit. Even though the basis of those stories usually is something shitty. Like, oh, one person can make a difference. And then it's, a story about a town who finally put up a fucking stop sign at an intersection that it probably people have been complaining about for decades on end, but it only went up after some kid got fucking hit and killed at the intersection. There's a big, display for the kid from all of his friends or her friends or whatever. And then you have someone from the town saying, "Well, after the accident, we felt it was good to finally listen to what the people had been saying." Yeah, it's like, hey, but it took someone fucking dying for you to put up a stop sign where you knew it was going to be. It's a made up example. But you've heard that example before in some form or fashion. And it can be something like that can be applied anywhere and everywhere. But when is the everyday citizen just going to wake up, start to care at least a little bit, realize that we're all getting fucked, and then speak up in some form or fashion? As I say that twice. Probably not in my lifetime, and it'll be a long time after that as well. Before we stop letting just people get fucked every day by the people in power, by fucking shitty capitalists. It's all about the rich getting richer. It's all about the power, the powerful getting more power. That's it. That's all it's about. There are so few societies where it's a benefit for the people, for everyone, where everyone is just enjoying the fact that they're alive. It's and that's the thing that gets me, right? And I've heard this so many times of late where it's people saying that it's a blessing to be alive. It is. It's an absolute blessing to be alive. But then what? Like if you're made to be fucking miserable because you're alive, what's the point, right? And I don't mean to say that in a overly dramatic fashion, even though it comes across that way. But it just makes no sense to me that human beings treat other human beings like shit for no reason other than their own personal gain. And it happens on scale, it happens everywhere on Earth, and it'll never stop. It's never ever going to stop. So it's either you just sort of put your head down and live your life, which 90% of the people on this planet, that's what they do. They just put their head down and just move forward, because what else can you do? It's a shame that we've become just horrible people. Selfish, self-absorbed, which is the same fucking thing, David. It's horrible. That's it for the show. How about that for a reflection of 5 years of talking into a microphone about nothing important, right? Now I'm going to go work for somebody else. I'm going to go make somebody else a ton of money. That's what I'm going to do now. What a fucking... Oh, boy. I am on Instagram at Complaints Pod. I am on Facebook at Complaints Pod, but fuck Facebook. I'm on Threads. I'm on YouTube. I'm on other stuff. I'm on all platforms for downloading the show. You can call in 617-804-1557. Call in, talk what's on your mind, share. Love to hear from you. If you have any other examples of bad music, I'd love to know. If you have any other examples of sports injustices, I'd love to hear that. If you have any other examples of your first drink, which was one of the things that I talked about. Like, oh, hey, your first drink, what was it? Chime in. I also heard today that apparently Tom Brady, well, there's rumors that Tom Brady might try to get involved in the Olympics to play flag football, because that's an Olympic sport this year, or not this year, next year. I'm down. But that's it. Listen, as I say at the end of every one of these fucking things, and as I've said for the course of the last 5 years, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Okay? I mean that. Godspeed, Tata.